Every single person on our planet is born with a unique constellation of stars that determines their life path. Even though astrology has a 99% accuracy rate in revealing the truth about who they are and what they stand for, most people dismiss it as pseudoscience. In the Astrological Guide for Broken Hearts, the protagonist, Alice, is still coming close to understanding how astrology directs us in the larger plan that the cosmos has for all of us. Alice is coming to terms with the idea that her one true love, David, kissed another woman in season 1 of Netflix's The Astrological Guide for Broken Hearts. He is yet to justify his actions. Since he is her boss, she has to get over it and find a way to work with him. Tio, her best friend and a talk show host, is her go-to person for finding out what astrology has in store for her based on her birth chart. Alice embarks on a new journey after True Love. Dora TV's matchmaking show, Stars of Love, has Alice Bassey as a creative producer. She arrives at the office and is tasked with planning an important shoot for the talk show she hosts. David Sardi, the creative director of Dora TV, who manages the production house, is her superior. As we saw in the previous season, David and Alice have a mutual attraction to each other. She meets Tio, a fascinating character who becomes her astrology guru, sending her daily horoscopes via voice messages that she may listen to before going to work. Paola, her best friend, is a married woman with a child, and Tio, the talk show host, becomes an invaluable resource of support and love for her. When an office party is planned to celebrate the fact that the show was able to secure an exclusive interview with Clausen, a renowned astrologer, Alice is apprehensive about attending because she knows David will be there with his flame. Carlo, her ex-boyfriend with whom she had broken up 2 years earlier, also works at the company with Alice. Alice adores seeing him and Christina, his fiancée, together. Christina is expecting a child, and everyone knows it. Alice returns to her grounded self and decides to kiss the DJ who is performing at the party. Paola, who has consumed too much alcohol, asks Alice to drive her home. Alice is quick to respond to her demands and abandons her house. Meanwhile, Carlo is waiting for Alice in her doorway, looking as if his world has come crashing down around him. Carlo informs Alice that he acknowledged what he had done in the past to his lover. Alice, distraught, and since Carlo is without a place to stay, decides to take him in for a few days. This causes her great distress because, what if her ex-lover, David, decides to visit? What happens if Carlo learns about her and David? Tio notices a spoon with Alice's original date, location, and time of birth etched on it by her uncle, and Alice attempts to find it in her heart to move on and experience love with new partners. They were under the impression that she was born in the morning when, in fact, she was born at night. Tio recognizes this, and everything on her birth chart is put back in order. Alice, on the other hand, must summon courage as she travels to Paris alone with David to meet Clausen. Alice discovers she has misplaced her wallet after lunch with David. She happens to run into David in the middle of the street in Paris, and he gives her back her wallet. She agrees to let him show her around the city, and the two form a stronger bond than they had previously. This leads to a seductive night in her hotel suite, and things take a turn for the better. The Astrological Guide for Broken Hearts Season 2 explores how Alice is balancing Carlo and Christina's failed engagement and Paola's second pregnancy, while Alice is exploring her carnal wants for love. She realizes that leaving the company and her position may be the best way to turn things around for herself and her life. In reality, Tio was simply attempting to comprehend what a rush of love meant when he met Andrea in the previous season, and Alice almost thought he had fallen in love with her. Alice couldn't tell because Tio's sexual identity is fluid. She stood behind Tio, no matter what, when she found out. She says her goodbyes to him and walks over to David, who is waiting for her, when she discovers David kissing Barbara. Alice, heartbroken and lonely, must now find a way out of her situation. Her concentration on true love does not waver from David Sardi, despite run-ins with various personalities. Her feelings and attraction to him remain unchanged. She can't get that one night of total passion out of her brain after her journey to Paris with David. She still pines for him. In an exclusive live interview with the show's creators and hosts, Tio acknowledges that he is not fully taken in by the idea of genuine love and that it does not last forever. His relationship with Andrea, a geologist scholar, gradually suffers as a result of this. Barbara makes several attempts to get Alice alone before deciding to take a different strategy. She approaches the company's owner and invites Alice to dinner to discuss business. Alice is now undecided about whether or not she should go. Tio, her ever-supportive closest friend, prepares for himself to interrupt them in the middle of dinner so that she does not feel confronted by Barbara in any way. Barbara has ulterior motives, which Alice is unaware of. When Tio fails to show up for dinner, leaving Alice alone to converse with David's current girlfriend, a few minutes later, Barbara asks Alice if she still has feelings for David. She had never seen him so pleased unless Alice was around, and this disturbed her. She didn't want to be in a relationship that didn't bring true joy and happiness to both parties. Alice comforted her by promising not to step on anyone's toes or interfere in any way. With this in mind, both Alice and Barbara become a little closer, which concerns David. Christina is preparing to give birth, while Carlo tries feverishly to win her back. When she goes into labor, Alice rushes to get an ambulance for her. She gets a call to go to the job promotion interview, but she's convinced she won't be able to make it because there are so many loose ends to tie up. Alice discovers that David has quit his job and has rehired Enrico, the previous creative director. Alice's former boss, Enrico, is overjoyed to see her again, but Alice is furious that David left without saying goodbye. After Christina gives birth to a baby, Alice decides to take a new position in another company and relocates to Rome. David shows up on Alice's birthday when she is on set at her new job to express his true feelings for her and begin a new adventure of true love. The Astrological Guide for Broken Hearts Season 2 concludes with a beautiful ending that we had all been anticipating, whether Romeo would discover who his Juliet is and come to grips with his new situation. And with time, he does, sweeping us off our feet as well. While Tio is the charismatic guru who uses astrology to help us figure out who is the best match for us when it comes to genuine love, love is a fickle beast. It is built on the feelings of two people for one another. Love, like water, is an emotion that ebbs and flows like the sea or ocean's waves. We are still the ones who determine what our voyage will be, even if astrology proves to be the weather of one's life. Alice is a firm believer that we are who we are regardless of what the stars say. Our actions will always have an effect, but there will be repercussions based purely on our actions. Season 2 is a delightful journey through Alice's birth chart as she discovers a new reality while reading her birth chart incorrectly. When she corrects it, everything becomes precisely what she needs it to be, and she can follow Tio's hand through genuine love, lust, friendships, and even parenthood. An endearing series set in Italy that reintroduces the spirit of love and passion into our lives. This is always appreciated with tremendous gratitude.